stand up for your rights. Or someone would say we're coming in.
Jah Rastafari.
With the roof right over our heads, we'll share the shelter. It's been a long, steer it together.
Alright, welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please. And then let's get into celebrating a great human being. We're talking about the great Bob Marley, the undisputed king of reggae music. And after I go through this information with you, you will understand why, even after he is gone from earth, he still wears the crown. You know, usually I would say that we need to crown somebody alive because Bob has gone and a dead man cannot sit on a throne. However, it is impossible to use the word dead, and it applies to Bob Marley because Bob Marley is very much alive, right? And his spirit definitely lives on. So, Bob Marley, born February 6, 1945, passed on or transitioned, but not dead, 1981, at the tender age of 36 years old. Bob's everlasting impact on earth and on humanity was as if he was sent to do a job, a mission, and his mission was accomplished. Bob Marley as a person was a no-nonsense person. I think he was more like a messenger who understood his mission, and he was very serious about what he was sent to do. I remember Sidney Breakspear saying that Bob would be exhausted, completely exhausted, and he would need to lay down and rest after every performance and show that he did, because it was something of a spiritual event for him delivering his message, right? So let's talk about this real quick, because people understand money and they rate you more for money in today's world. So how about this for numbers and money? So while Bob had a net worth of 33 million US dollars at the time of his passing, Bob did not die and leave a will behind, or did not pass away with a will behind. And we saw Rohan, Marley, and others speak about that recently. Shout out to the whole Marley clan. The steady increase of his music sales, though, which earned 23 million US dollars in 2018 alone. I'm going to need you to wrap your head around this greatness right here. Okay? Listen to this. In 2018 alone, his music earned 23 million US dollars alone. That's just in 2018. This has put his estate in 2022 to an estimated 150 million US dollars. His single, No Woman No Cry, which most people know, that single alone by itself earns an average of 14 million US dollars per year by itself, making him the highest paid dead celebrity. That's what they classify him as, the highest paid dead celebrity. Again, careful when you're using the word dead with Bob Marley, because you know say Rasta not in a no dead thing, and it's not about dead, it's about life and levity, and energy never dies, energy transfers, and his energy has definitely transferred. Matter of fact, I think he was so powerful that millions of people needed to absorb that energy, and they have, right? His music is expected to continue to make tens of millions of dollars right now through streaming services and royalties, with over 14 million monthly listeners on Spotify alone, with over 75 million records sold worldwide. Listen, when we're talking about a Caribbean artist or a Jamaican artist for that matter, he was the gold standard. And check this out. These numbers sound like we're talking about some big pop rock star numbers, but it's a humble Rasta youth from Jamaica, these numbers. I remember one particular thing about Bob Marley while he did an interview. And in the interview, which of course I watched as I was growing up, I wasn't around in them times, but he said in the interview that you think when Ziggy ready to go to school, and is in need of things, him can look at me and ask me for things, and me supposed to look at him and tell him, say, no, me don't have it. Nah, can't do that. So what I will do is I will set a wheel in motion, and that wheel will continue to gain momentum as time goes. And he started Tough Gong, which certainly has gained momentum as time goes. And here is the proof. The proof is in the pudding. I mean, 23 million US dollars in 2018 alone. The top artist right now is hoping to hit these types of numbers. $150 million worth for his estate. One song alone, $14 million every single year on average from that one song alone. Do you know what this means? This means that his children can actually tour the world just singing No Woman, No Cry. That's it. Or they could even just sit back and collect royalties and split the royalties off No Woman, No Cry. $14 million alone they have tracked No Woman, No Cry to make on its own as a single every single year on average. That wheel that Rastaman talked about making and setting in motion is very much in motion. Bob Marley came in, he broke the mold, right? I've said this to people before. When he was alive, he was loved more outside of Jamaica than he was loved inside of Jamaica by status quo people. Because the type of person he was, he bucked the system. He did not go the traditional route. He did not go to their churches. He did not bow at the knees for their white God they were giving him through a church. He was very much about black upliftment, but he was also about unity. He was also about equality. I remember they asked him one time and they said, so what do you think about this black versus white stuff? And which side are you on? And Bob said, I'm not on nobody's side. I'm not on the black man's side. I'm not on the white man's side. I'm on the God that caused me to come from black and white side. So, burning him big spliff them, him ganja, and many more things that he said while he was alive that are quotables today. You could actually have a whole Bob Marley quote book because he said so many significant things. Now, this has to be the mark of a messenger. Some people say a prophet, but it has to be the mark of a messenger. I still listen to songs like Redemption Song, songs like War, songs like The Sun is Shining, songs like Could You Be Loved and Lively Up Yourself, among others. There are lots of people out there who want to know why he was so famous. Okay, here's the article. Bob Marley's career began in 1963 when he formed one of the most iconic groups of all times, and without a doubt, the most famous reggae group in history. The band's first album, The Wailing Wailers, housed One Love, People Get Ready, which instantly became a world hit. Now, following that, the band's profile expanded dramatically overseas as they continued to release sensational albums including Catch a Fire and Burning. In the 70s, the group became notorious for touring, and it was almost as if their albums served the tours, when usually it works the other way around. Some people would just put out an album, then go on tour. But for Bob them, it was the other way around. Now, in the mid-70s, when the group disbanded, Marley kept the band's name as a pseudonym, and he continued to release solo material under the name Bob Marley and the Wailers. That is where Bunny Wailer split. Rest in peace to the great Bunny Wailer, who passed away recently as well. A few months after the release of his album Rastaman Vibration, an assassination attempt was made on his life in Jamaica, and he ran away from Jamaica after that. He had to take himself away. Armed men raided Bob Marley's house 2 days before the singer was set to perform at a festival that was trying to quell the increasing violence that was happening at the time in Jamaica. And Marley and 3 of his friends were ambushed and they were shot. But thankfully, All of them survived. The two shooters were charged and executed. And interestingly enough, one of the shooters said this right before his execution. He said that the CIA made him do it in return for guns and drugs. So he can start up his own gang and run a section of Jamaica and be powerful, some powerful Don. He confessed before. And it was always rumored to have been a politically motivated attack. So today forward now, when people say stuff like these guys who sing about guns getting killed and it has to do about guns, Bob Marley got shot up, and not one of his songs had anything to do with the glorification of guns, and nobody brain splash out upon the wall, and he was no gangster or anything like that. Matter of fact, I don't think Bob Marley has one song that could be considered a bad song. That's another mark of a messenger. So after the attack, Bob Marley left Jamaica and he moved to London. He was upset with Jamaica. He was finished with Jamaica for a while. And he moved to London almost permanently. And he used the shooting to fuel his creativity. Now, as all this was going on, he recorded the album Exodus, the most celebrated album to his career to this day. It was the first record of Marley's that truly expanded on the reggae formula, as it was a fusion of blues and soul and punk rock music and all that. And I remember Bunny Wailer saying that it wasn't his thing, so he was staying out of it, right? The record contains several hit singles and has been reissued countless times so far, charting highly on the charts every single time it's reissued. However, Bob couldn't catch a break. And just 1 year after the shooting, he was diagnosed with a cancer that's called acral lentiginous melanoma. Bob Marley suffered for about 4 years, I believe it was, until he unfortunately passed away in 1981. And there was a state funeral in Jamaica, and I remember his funeral, the rain poured, the lightning and the thunder. It was as if this great force, spirit, had said goodbye and was being lifted out of earth, right? And there are statues of him in several countries now around the world. After his death, the greatest hit record Legend was released to honor him and his 2 decades of amazing music. And it is currently the highest selling reggae album of all times. Still has not been beat to this day. In total, Bob has sold over 75 million records globally so far. We're not talking about streaming. We're talking about records sold. 75 million globally so far. So this is not a rest in peace. This is a celebration of a great life and a great man that came and made his mark. And his name will be remembered for all eternity on earth for sure. Remember when Bob said, "Them a got tired for see me face." Oh well, he wasn't lying, right? So shout out to Bob Marley on his 77th birthday, because he would have been 77 years old had he been here with us still today. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. Are you a big Bob Marley fan? And what is your favorite Bob Marley song? And I'll catch you in the comment section. I'm out. Peace.